Cheers, ladies.
Cheers.
If you're a mom in the Chicago suburbs that wants to get out more, meet new people, and try some of the best restaurants in the Chicago suburbs, you're going to love this episode. Welcome back to the Social Moms of DuPage County YouTube show. I'm Kristi Gorski, and I show what it's really like to live here in DuPage County, all from a mom's perspective. If you are curious about moving to the Chicago suburbs or even just thinking about it, I have a guide for you. My Chicago suburbs cheat sheet goes over everything you need to know: parks, playgrounds, pools, and budget. The things that you want to know about moving to the Chicago suburbs is in there. I'll link it in the description below so you can get it right now. There's something I hear from moms all the time. I want to get out more, I want to meet new people, I want to try new places. And the truth is, making friends and finding your people as an adult, especially as a mom, is not as easy as people make it look. So when I came across the social table, I immediately thought, this is it. This is what women in the Chicago suburbs have been looking for. Today I'm sitting down with Christina and Nicole, the founders behind these incredibly thoughtful, elevated dining experiences happening all over the Chicago suburbs. These are not just dinners. They're curated nights where you walk in not knowing anyone and you leave like you found your people. We're talking about how they built the social table, what actually goes into these experiences, and why so many women are craving this kind of connection right now. If you ever felt like you wanted a reason to get out and try somewhere new, this episode is for you. So Christina and Nicole, I'd love to hear about Bubbly Nights Out and the social table.
Absolutely. So Bubbly Nights Out is an event planning company for women that plans monthly dinners called the Social Table. They're curated experiences at amazing restaurants throughout the western suburbs. It's an opportunity for women to make new friends, meet other people, bring their friends along, and kind of grow their group. But we really enjoyed it. This year is actually our 1-year anniversary.
Yeah.
We also do a monthly series called the Social Hour that we just kicked off this year. And those are more event activity based where you're hanging out with people who have the same interests.
I've been a guest at the social table myself, and it is such a fun curated experience. So kudos to you guys. You guys are really bringing something cool to the Chicago suburbs. So what did your life look like before this, and what made you say, we're doing this?
So Christina and I have actually been friends for almost 20 years, and we met in a totally different realm than event planning. We were teaching together in Lisle. We taught 5th grade, and we really connected over just like our love of going out to Chicago, trying new restaurants, exploring. I think we were both just always down to go out and do something. Yeah. And so even when we left 5th grade, we went into different sectors of education. We remained super close, and I was living in the city, Christina was living in the suburbs, but she'd always come and visit me. And we started a supper club with a group of ladies, and we would choose a different restaurant every month, and we wouldn't tell each other where we were going until the day of. And we did this for 10 years. So every month for 10 years. And people always asked us, like, where should we go? How do you have a set monthly, dinner that you go to every month? And we thought, how could we turn this into a business? And so Bubbly Nights Out was born.
Yeah, you guys became the taste makers of your friend group, and then we all had to jump on board.
Yeah.
So I do have to ask, so you said you were teachers at Lisle?
Yeah.
Lisle High School?
Sheisure Elementary School.
Okay, yeah.
Great.
I went to Sheisure.
You did?
I'm a Lisle townie, so.
How did we not know this? Oh my gosh.
So walk us through what a dinner at the social table actually looks like.
Absolutely. So the first thing that happens is you actually fill out a survey prior to coming, and it tells us a little bit about you. We use that then to curate your seating at the event, and we use that to plan an introductory activity. So when you show up, you're going to check in with us, you're going to get some sort of welcome cocktail, and then you're going to have a welcome activity. So for example, at the beginning of our one that we had just last night, we were at this wonderful Indian restaurant, Kama Bistro, and we were looking at spice levels. So like, how spicy do you like your food, but how spicy is your life? And it's a way to just kind of connect in an informal way, which is really fun. So you're connecting in an informal way. We're all kind of standing around. We have like an amuse-bouche, small bites. And then we call everybody in, and you have a formal seated dinner. And that is really where the magic comes in. I would have to say Nicole takes the lead on being really good at knowing like who fits with who. Like that is definitely like one of her talents. And so we seat people really strategically with like, who are you gonna have in common? Who are you gonna have things in common with? So we have a wonderful dinner, we get to know each other, just chatting, talking informally. And then at the end of the night, our goal is always, were people talking the whole time, and are they hanging out outside of the social table? And I have to say, like, we have really started a lot of friendships, so it's great.
So Nicole, what type of women show up at these events?
So the great thing about our events is it's truly for all women. It doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter if you have kids, if you don't have kids, if you're starting your career, if you're retired. We truly see all types of women come to our events.
And when we first started this, we thought that it would probably be women around our age, like more like mid to like late 30s, early 40s, like kind of in that. But we are so pleased that so many women from so many walks of life come, because it really is just like a big melting pot, and it's great.
Yeah, because what you're doing isn't really age specific, you know? So like what you're doing, what you're providing, you know, into the social scene of Chicago attracts so many different types of people, I think.
Right, and we will have women reach out and ask us, I want to go to this, but I don't know if it's my age bracket, and we always say it's for everyone. We have women as young as in their young 20s and all the way up, so it truly is for anyone.
And I was going to ask you, like, do you find people come alone?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And people on that note will also email us and say, I'm kind of nervous. I just moved here. Is it okay if I come by myself? And actually, when we first started this, we figured it would be mostly people coming on their own, because that was one of our goals, was to really build that community piece. But I would definitely say it's a mix of both. We get friends and
I would say we have both people that come alone, and we have a lot of women that have met each other at the social tables, and now they've started coming together in groups, which is kind of what the whole point is, right? About that connection and building friendships.
Right.
Yeah. And on the survey that you take, you can actually put on there, like, I'd like to sit with so-and-so. And we always look at that and honor that.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I could tell the audience a little bit about coming alone, because I usually do come alone. But the survey is great for that, because you have to fill out some of your interests, so you know that you will be placed by somebody that you're going to have an enjoyable conversation with. So I've experienced coming alone, but I usually go places alone. That's not a rare occurrence to me, and so I just, you know, was wondering if you find people come solo. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I would say our very first event, right, which you were at Bistro Prime, everybody came alone.
So how do you guys choose the restaurants and the locations for these events?
Absolutely. Well, we always start with like restaurants that we really enjoy personally, and because you heard our story, like we just have this huge background with being foodies, and food is, I don't know, an important part of our life. Like, it's wonderful to go somewhere and just enjoy an amazing meal where the flavors are so rich and you feel really well taken care of, right? Like, we want this to be an experience where you feel transported. It's important to come and meet people, but also in addition to that, like, treat yourself. Like, this is supposed to be an event. And so we think about what are the spaces that we love. Along with that, we really try to space it out to different suburbs, and really looking at like different cities, different towns, so that we can have people come from all over the place, essentially. We try to mix up the cuisine, we have different themes, we try to keep it creative. But yeah, it usually starts with like, what do we love, and what do we think our guests would love? Like, now that we're really getting to know people, like, oh, we know this group likes this.
And I would add on to that also, after the food comes the aesthetics of the restaurant. So Christina and I love going to Chicago. We love the beauty of all the restaurants. So that's something that we're really looking for too when we check out restaurants here.
You always pick restaurants, in my opinion, that I say, oh, I want to try that. So you guys mentioned the social hour. This is something new you guys are doing, right? Tell me more about the social hour.
So the social hour is a really similar concept to the social table. Instead of gathering around a meal though, you're gathering around a shared experience. So in January, we launched the social hour, and the very first one we did was a bubbly tasting at Cozy Wine Bar in Glen Ellen. And then we just hosted last week a watercolor class at Cadence Kitchen.
I love that. So fun.
With, Kate from the Princess. And it was just really beautiful. People walked away with these gorgeous works of art, and I am not like a super artist, but Kate makes me feel like I can do it, which is nice.
Yes, I love that.
And that idea came from the social table. A lot of our guests were telling us, we really want you to do events, which is actually what Bubbly Nights Out started as, was an event planning company and planning different events. And so we kind of bridged those two things, what we were doing with Bubbly Nights Out and what we were doing with the social table. And so we're choosing all different kinds of experiences. And our next one is actually right here. It's a caviar and bubbly tasting. opening on May 7th.
I love that. This is a perfect spot for it. So we're at Gone Grazy in Hinsdale, and they do platters and wines, and this is going to be the perfect setting for a caviar night. Like, what an elevated experience. That's so cool. Ladies, what is your most memorable moment from a dinner you hosted?
So it's always hard to say like what's the most memorable, because I would say each event that we're planning, each dinner, we really try to make unique. So you're having a different experience each time that you go. I would say though, the most memorable for us was the first one, because, you've been talking about this. We had been planning it for such a long period of time, but when you launch something out into the universe, you don't know, maybe we had this idea, is it going to work? And it was just wonderful to see all of these women who hadn't met before just really get along and talk the entire time and talk about how they wanted to come back to Bistro Prime, the restaurant, and they were going to tell people about it and what an amazing experience. And as we've gone through and had these monthly dinners, we've had so many women from our first dinner actually come back, and a couple of our guests have come to like every single one. So it really kind of kicked things off, launched things, and will just be forever imprinted in our minds because a good start.
Yeah, good start. Proud mama moment, right?
Yeah, it's a good description.
Happy that you were part of it.
Yes, I know.
Yes.
I'm happy to be along for the ride too.
Yeah.
Good meals, good friends along the way. So that's fun for me too. Okay, so let's talk local.
Yeah.
What are some of your guys' favorite restaurants or hidden gems in DuPage County or like the western suburbs area?
So one of the things that I love seeing in the suburbs is how much the downtown areas are growing and the dining scene. Like, I think they've really stepped up their game with restaurants, and I live in Downers Grove like you, and one of my favorite spots that I always tell people about is Foxtail.
Yes.
I just think the food is always incredible, the ambiance is incredible, it's very reflective of a Chicago restaurant.
Agreed.
Absolutely. And to add on to that, I love the Graceful Ordinary in St. Charles. It's so beautiful. They have one of the best brunches in the suburbs I have ever had. Like, I go back multiple times with one of my neighbors because we just like love it. Plus it's on the river. It's just beautiful. Their chef is incredible. One of our social tables, they actually like came out to it. We were having it at the Victorian Fox, and they did all of the food, and people's just feedback on that one was extra spectacular. But it's a great place if you haven't been there.
Yeah, good tip. I have not been there, so
Yeah,
that's a good
put it
one.
on your list.
Yes.
So good.
Where have you hosted that people were just blown away by?
That is like asking to pick your favorite child. We do ask people to fill out a survey after they attend our events, because we always want to know, like, what were the good things? What did you appreciate? So we keep doing that more. But then also, what are some ideas that you have, that might make things better? And I have to say, like, our feedback always goes on the positive side. Like, people really enjoy the food, and they always really enjoy meeting the people. And so of all of them that really blew people away, I'd like to say everybody walks away at all of our events like leaving like, this just filled my soul in addition to, filling my belly.
So I was blown away by the one that we had outdoors
I was just
on
gonna say
the
that,
patio.
the Taste of Spain.
The
Yeah.
Taste of Spain.
Yeah.
Remind me of the location venue
That was
for that.
in Geneva. It was
Yes.
123 on Main.
123 on Main,
Yes.
yeah, and that blew me away. Your details. I came home with a little tile that said my name on it, and I mean, being outdoors for me, eating outdoors on a patio, like nails it. Like I could be eating anything. Like I could be eating peanut butter and jelly on a sandwich, and I'm like a happy girl. But that one absolutely blew me away. The experience
That
in
was such a
Geneva.
fun one too, because it was outdoors, like you said, but we had the live paella demo, so he was cooking right there, and then we combined it with the wine tasting.
Yes.
So I was definitely going to say that one and the Victorian Fox in November. I think people really like a unique experience, and so for both of those, we chose not to be at a restaurant, but to bring the food to the venue. And the Victorian Fox was in a restored Victorian house that's actually an Airbnb, and we did that in November, and people, I think, were blown away by it. Like you said, the attention to detail.
Definitely. If somebody were new to the area, what would you tell them about what makes living in this area so special?
There's so many good things about living in the suburbs. I joke around all the time about like living in the suburbs as opposed to the city, but the western suburbs in particular, right? There's so many good restaurants. Like, the restaurant scene has just been elevated so much over the past like 10 years.
Yeah.
There's so many great like parks, there's activities for kids to do. There's so many ways to get connected as far as events and clubs and organizations that you can get involved with as well.
And we also really like all the outdoor spaces, right? So like Morton Arboretum, Cantini, and Wheaton.
Yeah. I always say, because we all know Chicago is like a world-class city for foodies, right? But us being in the suburbs, we get the spillover of that. So like a B restaurant in the suburbs is still better than some other city's best restaurants. Our restaurant scene in the suburbs is really, really fun. Christina and Nicole, where can people follow you and where can they learn more about one of your upcoming dining experiences?
Absolutely. So you can follow us at Bubbly Nights Out on both Instagram and on Facebook. And when you start following us, there's a link in our bio where you can sign up for our newsletter that we send out about all of our events.
I love conversations like this because it's such a reminder that living in the Chicago suburbs is not just about the homes or the neighborhoods, it's about the people, the experiences, and the communities you build here. Christina and Nicole are creating something really special. They're giving women a way to show up, try something new, and connect in a way that feels easy and natural. So if you've been feeling like you want more fun, more bubbly nights out, this might be your sign to try something different. I'll make sure all their info is linked so you can find their upcoming events. And if you're new here, this is exactly what the Social Moms of DuPage County is all about. Conversations with local moms, local highlights, and helping you build a life you love right here in the western suburbs of Chicago. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you at the next episode. If you are curious about moving to the Chicago suburbs or even just thinking about it, I have a guide for you. My Chicago Suburbs cheat sheet goes over everything you need to know. Parks, playgrounds, pools, and budget. The things that you want to know about moving to the Chicago suburbs is in there. I'll link it in the description below so you can get it right now.